Hello, I'm Justine Green with the BBC News. Israel says it's launched further airstrikes overnight on targets in Gaza in response to continued rocket fire from Palestinian militants. The Palestinians have been launching barrages of hundreds of rockets towards Israeli cities in an apparent attempt to overwhelm missile defences. The Israeli military says its strikes on Gaza are the largest since 2014. The United Nations Middle East peace envoy has warned of a growing risk of all-out war. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned Hamas and Islamic Jihad over their actions.
Hamas and Islamic Jihad have paid, and I tell you here, they will pay a very high price for their aggression. I say here tonight, their blood will be on their heads.
The Israeli government has declared a state of emergency in the town of Lod, one of several areas that have seen violent protests by Arab Israeli citizens. The mayor of Lod described the situation as being like a civil war, with rioters burning cars and attacking businesses. Israeli border police have been brought in from the West Bank. The US Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm says there's no need for motorists to hoard petrol following Friday's cyber attack that shut down a major pipeline serving 50 million consumers. Pump prices have risen in some areas, with long queues forming at petrol stations that haven't run dry. Senator Gary Peters chaired a US Senate Security Committee discussing the attack.
Officials are continuing to investigate exactly what happened. But the extraordinary measures the company took to shut down the pipeline and the possible ripple effects that will likely have on gas prices and our economy down the line shows that attackers will always try to exploit vulnerabilities. We also need to rethink how we approach cyber warfare.
A group of Indian labourers in the United States have taken a Hindu religious trust to court, accusing their employer of forcing them into gruelling labour and near servitude. The lawsuit was filed before a US district court on behalf of more than 200 labourers working at a temple complex in rural New Jersey. Sanjay Dasgupta reports.
The lawsuit accuses the religious trust known as the Baps Swaminarayan Sangstha of luring Indian labourers to the United States and forcing them to work more than 87 hours a week for about $1.20 an hour. The workers lived in trailers hidden from view and worked grueling hours, building a sprawling temple in rural Robbinsville in the state of New Jersey. The majority are Dalit, the lowest rung in India's caste system. The legal minimum wage in New Jersey is $12 an hour. Kanu Patel, the chief executive of the trust, has disagreed with the wage claim.
Sanjay Dasgupta reporting. You're listening to World News from the BBC. The first major electricity wind farm in US coastal waters has received final approval from the Biden administration. The Vineyard Wind project off the eastern state of Massachusetts will see 84 turbines generating enough power for 400,000 homes and businesses. The turbines fit with President Biden's pledge to decarbonize America's economy while creating jobs. A judge in Mauritania has ordered the country's former president, who's been accused of corruption, to be placed under house arrest. Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz, who led the country between 2008 to 2019, was already banned from leaving the capital Nouakchott. The latest restriction comes after Mr. Abdelaziz returned to politics by joining an opposition party and strongly criticising the authorities at a news conference. A remote indigenous community in the Brazilian Amazon has published a video showing an attack by armed illegal gold miners on their village. The Yanomami group in Roraima State are reported to have said that 3 of the miners were killed in a gun battle. Candice Piet has more.
The Yanomami said it's the 3rd time in 2 weeks that they'd entered into conflict with illegal miners. They worry now that the violence will escalate. In March, a respected non-profit group, Instituto Socioambiental, calculated that last year alone, the equivalent of 500 football pitches of virgin rainforest had been destroyed by mining in the legally protected Yanomami Reserve.
The American actor, producer and director Norman Lloyd has died in California aged 106, almost a century after he first took to the stage as a professional child actor. He made his Broadway debut in 1935, while his first screen credit dates from 1939 in the oldest surviving footage of American television. He collaborated with Hollywood greats such as Charlie Chaplin, Orson Welles and Alfred Hitchcock. BBC News.